Now that the Final Destination review series is all finished up, it seems like the perfect time to go forward with a ranking video. I've never made one of these before, so I'm really excited about it. Also, they just announced that Final Destination 7 is moving forward with one of the writers of Bloodlines coming back to head the project. So it's a good time to be a fan of this franchise. Keep in mind, as I rank these are my opinions as they occur at this time. Nice thing with this franchise is movies are constantly shifting where they are in the lineup, and I really enjoy that about this series. Number six. At number six, we have The Final Destination. I think a lot of fans of the franchise would be hard pressed not to put this in last place, and there's a number of reasons why. The characters suck. Most of them don't have last names in the movie or the credits. A lot of the characters don't even have real names in the credits, only referred to as their stereotype, such as mechanic, MILF, and racist. Apparently, the script actually did have last names for our four core main characters, but it's never used in the movie. The only character who I actually do like in this is George. He has a compelling backstory. He's acted extremely well for the movie, and I wanted to see more of him. I think having him as a more central character would have improved things.
Hey, Space Cadet, you want to come back down to Earth?
Our core cast of characters, I've seen them in other things. I know they can act, and so it's a disappointment to go into this and be like, yep, they're certainly trying. This movie was victim to the writer's strike at the time, and so it didn't get any rewrites. A major focus of the production was the 3D, and honestly, it's bleh. It's a fun time in 3D if you can see it in 3D. Otherwise, this is a movie to put on while you're cleaning the house and ignore a lot of. You'll look up and go, oh, that was a cool sequence. Eh. The death scenes are covered in CGI gore and look fake as hell, which is a problem when the main focus of the franchise is death. Number five. Oh, I feel you lighting the pitchforks already. In fifth place, we have Final Destination 3, aka the fan favorite. Now, hold on. There's a huge gap between last place and this place for me. It's like the Final Destination 3. On this last rewatch, I really noticed how repetitive the story is in this. Nothing new is added from the first movie. We have a returning writer and director of the first movie coming back here, and they're just using the same playbook as before. The film is very episodic with, hey, you're on death's list. Death is coming to kill us all. What? You're fucking crazy. Oh no, they died. Well, we better go find the next person. And it repeats like this. Wendy is as far as our visionaries go. However, I do think Mary Elizabeth Winstead gives an excellent performance with the material she's given. Her chemistry with Ryan Merriman in the movie is a highlight. We do have good set pieces. The tanning bed salon, the hardware store, the gym. These are all good places for kills and for the Rube Goldberg machine to do its thing. All in all, it's just kind of blah and there. I do like the ending though, and I think that it set up a really cool idea. And I remember leaving the theater super jazzed about where the franchise could go and what they could do to play with the idea of a visionary having multiple premonitions. Number four. In fourth place, we have Final Destination 2. And this is what I mean about things shifting. For the longest time, this was one of my least favorite sequels. I had always thought that the bad sequels were the even ones and the good ones were the odd numbered movies. But this time through, I really, really liked the characters in this. I like the side characters. I like Kat. I like Rory. I like Eugene, who is kind of a dick. I'm not big on Kimberly as a visionary, but I do like how she interprets what Bloodworth says.
Hello, Claire.
I like that things move forward with the mythology and we get new expansions in the lore. There are new ideas on how you can cheat death. I like the idea of death working backwards, trying to clean up a mistake that it made. All of these things work really well for me. This movie is very much exactly what you want in a sequel. It is bigger, it is badder, it is everything that you wanted. Just there's some stuff that you don't. Clear Rivers returns, and it's nice to see her back again. I don't like how they dispatch her. I don't like how they killed off Alex in between movies with a brick to the head. We get an iconic opening set piece, so much so that people who haven't seen these movies know the log truck. The log truck of doom has become a meme, and there are people who are still terrified to drive behind trucks because of it. Number 3. Well, if I didn't piss you all off with ranking Final Destination 3 so low, third place for me is Final Destination. Hold on. Hold on. I love this movie. It is a big bowl of chili on a cool day. It is a warm blanket. It's a mug of tea and a good book. It is comfort. However, because of reshoots and rewrites, the film is at odds with each other at certain points. After our first kill, death clears up its tracks so that way everything looks like a suicide. And that's a cool idea if all these people are dying in mysterious ways that they took their lives, as it looks like. But we really have death coming after them. However, after that first scene, it doesn't do that again. Sometimes death is shown as a shadowy CGI figure blob in the background or in a mirror or something that you really don't get a good idea of what it is. Other times, it's just there. And while I do like that there's inconsistency of this one gets a Rube Goldberg death, this one gets a sudden death, this one gets a Rube Goldberg death, this one gets a subtle death that you weren't expecting it to be them. In whole with the franchise, it doesn't work. I like the characters in this movie a lot, and honestly, the things that I mentioned in the negative don't tend to bother me when I'm watching the movie. It's only when it comes to ranking these and putting things in a pros and cons list that things start to pop up that way. Number 2. I did not think this movie would be in second place. I did not imagine that it would get this high. So, in writing the review for Final Destination Bloodlines, I realized that I love this movie, aside for the last 10 to 15 minutes. But my love for the first hour and a half is so high that I don't think I can knock it down much more. I love the characters in this. I like that it does something new with the franchise. The idea of death taking out a family that wasn't supposed to exist. It also plays with the whole new life can defeat death concept and is like, yeah, no, it can, but not the way you think. It's great to say goodbye to Tony Todd. He has been a presence off and on in this franchise for years. And to see him, as sick as he was, still come in, still give it everything he can, and give us, the audience, a good send off, I love it. I love the MRI scene. I love the barbecue scene. I wish the barbecue scene wasn't in the trailers. I like the tattoo parlor scene. I like that you think you know exactly the order the death's going to work, except families have secrets. I like seeing how the families interact in a way that is realistic to me. The characters are great. Everything about this movie is fantastic, except for the ending. knowing that the ending was a product of a reshoot and knowing what the original ending was going to be, I hate to say they made the right choice. The original ending was going to be Stephanie takes Charlie to the cabin. Stephanie goes in and says, I live here now. You go, be free, be safe. I will stay in the cabin of death for all time and never leave. On paper, that's a good ending. Film-wise, it doesn't work.
Death is coming for us because we were never supposed to exist.
Number one, for me, the absolute perfect Final Destination movie of all time so far is Final Destination 5. Now, I love the characters. I wish they were doing more things. I wish these actors were in more things. I like the way they interact. I like the fact that we have a different third act where we have a human antagonist who is trying to kill somebody. And honestly, the movie did a great job of building up this character so that way we are on board, or at least we understand where this person is coming from and why they're making the decisions that they're making. I like fake Tom Cruise in this. I like Sam as our protagonist. I like that we get a return of Bloodworth. Olivia is Bay. I'm showing my age there. I think that all in all, this is a great Final Destination movie. And then you get to the ending. And the ending, even if you haven't seen the other ones, gives you enough context to go, oh shit. And I'd be curious to watch it with somebody who hasn't seen the other movies. If you are a fan of the franchise and you get to the end of the 5th movie and it hasn't been spoiled for you, you are in awe and shock. The fact that, oh my God, this movie's been a secret prequel this whole time and we didn't know. It just works wonderfully. So, with all that in mind, that is my ranking of the franchise so far. What do we have in the future for this? Well, we know we're getting Part 7. We don't know what Part 7 is going to entail. Honestly, if they went back to the first responders idea now, okay, we could have something really cool going. My big thing was I didn't want it in 2020 when everything was going on. Now, if we have like firefighters and EMTs who are on death's list, okay, that's an interesting way to go. I know that a lot of people debate about where do the visions come from, and everybody has a different opinion and a different mindset. And here is mine. I don't want to know. I don't want the franchise to tell me that visions come from life because every force has an equal opposite force. I don't want it to be the cause that death gives out the visions because death wants a challenge. No. I don't want it to be, well, these people are genetically, psychically linked, or whatever things I've read on Reddit or IMDb forums for the past 25 years. I want the visions to just be the visions. You don't have to explain everything, midichlorians.
I'll see you soon.
So, how do you rank the Final Destination franchise? Comment it down below. Be entitled to your wrong opinion. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bells. Do whatever it takes. Give me the comments. I want to hear them.